Rescue mission turned recovery.
My deepest condolences.
What happened to the Titan and its crew of 5? A gas station drive-thru.
It's a miracle.
Caught all on camera. And calm in the face of terror.
A juvenile called 911.
A 13-year-old boy maintained a leveled head after an incident swimming in a creek. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Hawa Ezel.
I'm Leon Abu-Tarbush. Today is Friday, June 23rd, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Switching to a recovery mission at the site where a Titan submersible disappeared. The passengers on board were killed in what the U.S. Coast Guard calls a catastrophic implosion.
Caplin News reporter Jan Preisler has more.
The worst fears of many were confirmed in the search for a missing submersible yesterday.
An ROV, or remote-operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor.
4 days after it was first reported missing and captured international attention, the U.S. Coast Guard confirmed that the massive search and rescue mission of the 5 people aboard the submersible touring the Titanic is now a recovery mission.
The debris field is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel.
Lost aboard the missing sub, Stockton Rush, CEO of OceanGate, the company leading the voyage. French researcher Paul-Henri Nargelet, known as Mr. Titanic, who's been to the wreck more than 36 times. Aviation tycoon and adventure explorer Hamish Harding, and Pakistani businessman Shahzad Dawood and his teenage son Suleiman.
On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families.
The company operating the Titan said in a statement they believe all lives aboard were sadly lost, including their own CEO. The U.S. Coast Guard confirmed they will continue their recovery mission and investigation to help bring closure to the families and friends of the victims. For Caplin News, I am Jan Preisler.
A newly named tropical storm was born in the Atlantic this morning. TD4 is now Tropical Storm Cindy. The National Hurricane Center expects Cindy to pass to the west of the Caribbean islands and weaken back into a depression by the middle of next week. The other tropical storm, Brett, should be gone by the end of the weekend. Neither system will threaten Florida.
Crazy video near Tampa showing a driver crashing into a gas station. As Caplin's Tanya Jimenez reports, a person was struck while walking into the store and survived.
A little after midnight, this parking lot at the Seffner Travel Center was quiet until the SUV you see in this video comes flying through the parking lot heading towards the store. Then boom, crashing through the glass doors and hitting a customer walking in at the same time.
After just watching that video, first reaction?
It was like, wow, I thought somebody got seriously hurt.
The woman behind the counter is calling for help. Another employee then runs over to check on the driver, 37-year-old Anthony Katosh, and the customer he allegedly hit.
When we show up, we knew it was bad. But then you see the video, and then you realize how really bad it was.
According to the sheriff's office, Katosh was treated for minor injuries. Baker acted, then sent to the county jail. EMTs rushed the victim he hit to Tampa General Hospital in critical condition.
It's a miracle that they're doing as well as they're doing, because when they were taken to the hospital, thankfully, they were taken with some serious injuries, but they were quickly reported stable. He's going to be okay, and we're grateful for that.
Detectives are still investigating, but they did add this does not seem like it was an accident. Katosh has been charged with criminal mischief, but there may be more charges to come once detectives wrap up their investigation. The sheriff's office adds it is an absolute miracle that person pinned by the car will be okay. For Caplin News, Tanya Jimenez.
Residents near Ocala, Florida were evacuated from their homes due to a huge sinkhole forming in the area. The 30-foot sinkhole yesterday left a woman homeless after being told she had to evacuate. Repairs are on hold since more rain is predicted in the forecast and the sinkhole is continuing to grow.
The National Transportation Safety Board is holding a 2-day investigative hearing in Ohio. As CNN's Catherine Ross reports, they are looking into what caused the derailment of a train carrying toxic chemicals.
The information learned during this hearing.
A hearing like this would normally take place in the nation's capital. Instead, the backdrop, a high school gym in East Palestine, Ohio.
Community members deserve to see not just how we're investigating the derailment, but who is doing the work.
It's a welcome piece of transparency in a community that tells us they've been frustrated by a slow drip of, at times, conflicting information.
Happy to see them come through with that and not just do this, across state lines and actually be here rooted where we're having problems.
Those problems started on February 3rd when a Norfolk Southern train carrying toxic chemicals derailed in town. And neighbors tell us many families here still worry about the long-term health, environmental, and economic effects from the derailment.
I feel like people that might want to get out can't get out. I feel that just people are afraid for their own safety.
Thursday, NTSB investigators digging into the safety hazards leading up to and immediately after the derailment. Emergency responders explain the communication from a single small regional dispatch center was the first logistical challenge, and they did the best with the tools and experience they had.
I don't think you can ever really be prepared for something like this.
During the meeting, fire chiefs called for more funding and training for hazmat response. But first responders and experts doubled down on the decision to vent and burn flammable chemicals in damaged tanker cars.
All data resources and all of our combined experiences had us with a legitimate concern for polymerization.
The information from this hearing and other investigations and studies will help paint a clearer picture about what happened and how it can be prevented in the future. Neighbors here tell us they hope the bright spotlight on East Palestine sends a message.
We're going to make sure that this town stays an amazing town and this community stays together through the ups and downs of this whole incident.
Wyoming's ban on abortion pills slated to take effect next month is being put on hold after a district judge blocked it. The legal move was yesterday, according to the Casper Star Tribune. Lawmakers in Wyoming are close to a total ban of abortion in the state, but it continues to face hurdles along the way. State Governor Mark Gordon signed the law in March, and it was expected to officially begin on July 1st.
President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris mark the one-year anniversary of the Dobbs Supreme Court decision. Saturday marks 1 year since the Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe v. Wade and legalized abortion federally. Biden and Harris are joining reproductive rights groups such as Planned Parenthood to mark the occasion.
The Marlins were trailing big going into the bottom of the 8th inning when their bats started to come alive.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I don't know. I got out the water as fast as I could.
A 911 call released after a 13-year-old in Florida survives a gator bite. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Dial after danger here in Florida. A call to 911 after an alligator attacks. On Tuesday, a 13-year-old boy was swimming in a creek near Winter Springs, Florida when he was bitten by an alligator.
Wish 2's Dave McDaniel dives into the boy's call to 911 and the dangerous encounter with the gator.
57, a juvenile called 911 and stated that he was bit by an alligator.
I can walk. I just got bit by a gator.
The 13-year-old calmly described being bitten and going to a nearby home for help.
I'm okay though. I can walk and I can stand. I'm fine. It just stings a little bit, but I'm good.
Rushed to the hospital with a bite to his right leg and hip, according to Fish and Wildlife. A neighbor said she heard about it through a neighbor's text message.
One of the kids from somewhere in the community had been bit.
This is a time of year when alligators are extremely active as we go from spring into summer. Exactly why you need to be extra cautious if you're going to be anywhere near the water. Kids swimming in the creek is a concern for many in the community.
At least one very large gator in this creek. We see them from the bridge, we see them from behind the properties.
He was coming outside the water. He stated that the alligator came out of the water and bit him on the hip.
The dispatcher asked the teen where the gator went.
I don't know. I got out the water as fast as I could.
We set traps out here and we spotted a gator this morning, and we went ahead and see if we could get him out of here. So far we've been unsuccessful, but we still have traps set.
Trappers rushed out Tuesday evening and spent hours on site Wednesday. The gator they hoped to trap was described as 9 to 10 feet.
We don't quit. We're going to trap this thing and get him out of here and get these waterways safe again.
In Winter Springs, Dave McDaniel, West 2 News.
The Miami Marlins coming off an incredible comeback win against the Pittsburgh Pirates. After losing 2 in a row to the Toronto Blue Jays, the Marlins weren't looking much better, being down 4-1. However, after an amazing 8th inning, they scored 5 runs to extend the Pirates' 10-game losing streak. The final score was Marlins 6, Pirates 4. The two teams will face off again for Game 2 of their series today at 6:40 p.m. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Leanne Abu Tarbouch.
I'm Hawa Ezel. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.